In the age of modern warfare, the battlefield is no longer defined by brute force alone. It's about data, precision, speed, and adaptability. For decades, two military giants have stood on opposite sides of the geopolitical chessboard, Russia and NATO. But as technology reshapes the rules of war, a new question arises. Who truly leads in military innovation? Is it Russia with its hypersonic missiles, powerful electronic warfare systems, and combat-hardened strategies? Or is it NATO, backed by massive defense budgets, advanced AI, and global surveillance networks? Let's dive deep into this silent arms race and uncover the truth behind the military tech rivalry shaping the 21st century. First, let's talk about philosophy, because how each side approaches war reveals a lot about the tech they develop. Russia traditionally builds for scale and survivability. Its systems are often rugged, mobile, and built to operate with limited support in harsh conditions. NATO, particularly the United States, focuses on precision, information dominance, and integration. Every NATO strike is typically supported by satellite data, AI-enhanced decision systems, and precision-guided munitions. The difference is clear. Russia is brute efficiency under fire. NATO is surgical accuracy from afar. Take the battlefield in Ukraine as a case study. Russia has relied heavily on artillery barrages, tank columns, and mass infantry, while Ukraine, backed by NATO tech, has used real-time satellite intelligence, long-range precision weapons like HIMARS, and Western-trained drone operations. The contrast is striking. Russia aims to overwhelm. NATO aims to outthink and outmaneuver. Now, let's break down the tech. Hypersonic weapons. Russia claims the lead in this department. It was the first to deploy operational hypersonic missiles like the Kh-47M2 Kinjal and 3M22 Zircon. These weapons travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5, making them nearly impossible to intercept with current missile defense systems. The Kinjal has been used in Ukraine, although its effectiveness remains debated. NATO, meanwhile, has hypersonic projects under development. The US is testing the ARW, Air-Launched Rapid Response Weapon, and DARPA's HAWK program, but they are not yet fully operational. So in this narrow field, Russia has the edge, but it's worth noting that actual combat effectiveness, cost, and deployment scale still raise questions. Air power. Here, NATO has overwhelming dominance. The F-35 Lightning II, a fifth-generation stealth fighter, is in service across multiple NATO countries. With sensor fusion, radar-evading design, and battlefield networking, it acts as both a strike aircraft and a flying command center. Russia's answer, the Su-57 Felon, is promising on paper, but has seen limited production and mixed reviews on stealth and avionics. In terms of airborne command, AWACS systems, and air refueling capabilities, NATO maintains global superiority. The B-2 Spirit B-21 Raider and Global Hawk drones give the alliance unmatched reach and intelligence. Drones and unmanned systems. This is where things get interesting. Both sides have embraced drones, but in different ways. Russia uses Lancet and Orlan drones for reconnaissance and kamikaze attacks. They've even incorporated Iranian Shahed drones, which are cheap, mass-producible, and deadly in large numbers. The strategy is quantity over quality. NATO favors high-end systems like the MQ-9 Reaper, Bayraktar TB2, used by Ukraine, and advanced loitering munitions. The focus is on precision and network integration. NATO drones are more expensive, but they offer higher survivability, better sensors, and real-time battlefield coordination. However, Russia has proven that cheap drones can still be devastating. The $20,000 Shahed can force countries to spend hundreds of thousands per missile intercept. It's a war of economic attrition. Electronic warfare. Here, Russia is widely considered a global leader. The Krasuka 4, Lear 3, and other EW systems are designed to jam communications, GPS signals, and drone controls. Russian forces regularly use EW to blind enemy surveillance and disrupt command structures. NATO certainly has advanced EW capabilities, but they are often more specialized and integrated into joint operations. The US Navy's EA-18G Growler and tools like the EC-130H Compass Call are effective, but in theater, Russia's EW presence is more aggressive and mobile. This gives Russia a tactical edge in localized conflicts, though NATO still dominates in strategic signals intelligence through satellite constellations and long-range surveillance. Missile systems and air defense. Russia's S-400 and the upcoming S-500 Prometheus are considered among the most advanced air defense systems globally. The S-400 can track and shoot down stealth aircraft, cruise missiles, and even ballistic missiles, at least in theory. It's been exported widely, even to NATO member Turkey. NATO counters with Patriot systems, THAAD, and Aegis-equipped destroyers. While these are excellent systems, their deployment is slower and often more expensive. In a pure air defense versus airstrike scenario, Russia is betting on shooting everything down. NATO is betting on hitting you before you can respond. Both philosophies have their strengths and flaws. Cyber warfare and AI. This is a quieter battlefield, but no less important. Russia has a long history of cyber operations, from election interference to critical infrastructure attacks. Its GRU and SVR hacking groups are active globally, but NATO, particularly the US, has far more powerful AI infrastructure and cyber retaliation capacity. Agencies like US Cyber Command and partnerships with Silicon Valley give NATO strategic cyber superiority. Add in quantum research, AI targeting algorithms, and cloud-based battlefield management. NATO holds the tech edge, though Russia still punches hard in asymmetric ways. Ground forces and logistics. Russia's advantage is in sheer numbers and heavy armor. The T-90 tanks, BMPT Terminator, and a massive legacy of Cold War equipment. Its logistics are famously rough, but its ability to move troops across Eurasia is formidable. NATO forces, while often smaller and dependent on political consensus, are better trained, better equipped, and supported by robust logistics chains, including satellite-based tracking, smart supply chains, and airlift capabilities. The US can deploy forces worldwide within days. Russia is more limited geographically, but efficient in its own sphere. Budget versus efficiency. Let's talk numbers. The US defense budget in 2024 topped $880 billion. Add NATO members like Germany, France, and the UK, and the alliance easily surpasses $1.2 trillion annually. Russia, by contrast, spends around $110 to $120 billion, a tenth of NATO's spending, and yet it has fought prolonged conflicts, innovated in asymmetric warfare, and produced cutting-edge systems on a fraction of the budget. This raises a critical point. Military effectiveness is not just about money. Russia excels in stretching its budget and making cheap solutions, like Shaheds or modified tank chassis, achieve strategic effects. But long-term, technology favors scale. NATO has the edge in research innovation pipelines and future-ready systems, like autonomous swarms, hypersonic interceptors, and sixth-generation aircraft. Conclusion: who's really ahead? So, who wins? It depends on the battlefield. In open tech competition, NATO leads in air power, cyber capabilities, AI, and integration. In asymmetric and localized warfare, Russia is formidable, especially with EW, hypersonics, and adaptive tactics. In budget efficiency, Russia squeezes a lot of power from limited resources. In logistics, reach, and sustainability, NATO dominates. But here's the final twist. The future of war isn't just about who has better weapons, it's about who adapts faster. In the coming years, autonomous drones, AI command systems, space-based warfare, and cyber dominance will decide who controls the battlefield, and both Russia and NATO are racing toward that horizon, with different tools, different philosophies, and very real stakes, because the next war might not be fought by soldiers. It might be fought by algorithms, satellites, and machines, and whoever wins that race rewrites the rules of global power.